Today's episode is brought to you by White on Rice.
White on rice is right on nice.
White on.
Right on?
Well, you never can be too rice.
Rice on.
We're also sponsored by Plain Old Dirt.
It's everywhere.
You hate getting it on you.
But you actually can't live without it.
That's right. Rice grows in it.
Apple trees, too.
Pigs love it.
And you love bacon.
But you hate dirt.
Go figure.
Or go wash your hands.
Plain Old Dirt. It's got your number, clean freaks.
And finally, we're sponsored by the Percon Institute.
Did you know there are things you don't know anything about, yet you still don't want to know anything about them?
Then the Percon Institute is the place to stay far away from.
You know it, or maybe you don't. And that's the point of the Percon Institute. To warehouse the things that mean something in the grand scheme of things, yet mean nothing to you.
Things like the melange tendencies of escarpments, tax-deferred compounding, and penological xenology.
That last one sounds interesting.
What? The study of locking up aliens?
That's the one.
To each his own.
The Percon Institute. We've got stuff.
But who cares?
And finally, an announcement about today's episode.
It looks like it's going to be a long one, folks.
It sure is. So we're going to be presenting it in 3 parts.
This is just a prelude to part 1.
Part 2 will be announced by 2 bongs, like so.
And part 3 will be announced with 3 bells, like this.
But the first part will be announced by me.
Which sounds like this.
And now, on to our show. I'd never vote for a robot. I'd rather vote for the devil himself than vote for Buddy Walker.
Vote Satan, the only choice.
Isn't it your job as a pundit to wildly speculate on behalf of the network?
I wouldn't say wildly, but
I mean, you don't even know what's inside these candidates' heads, so you're just guessing at their motivation and their strategies, right?
Well, sure, that's part of the value brought by me and
And it's all for the money, right? I mean, you're not being a pundit for non-financial reasons.
Look, do you want to hear my punditry or not?
No!
And here's why I think you don't.
And what would you say to people who are calling you a DEI hire?
Go fuck yourself, that's what I'd say.
Very good. Moving on.
And due to the severity of the malfunction, the 2 astronauts will be unable to return to Earth until well after the election. Speaking of the election, let's talk with President Dingell's former speechwriter, the Agent Cajun himself, Stan Rice Holloway. Stan, always good to see you.
Always good to be seen, unless I'm tackle out.
Stan, the election is tomorrow, so what predictions can you make?
Brad, we only had one October surprise, but it was a doozy with Walker turning out to be an android.
Or a robot.
Either way, he was already on every state ballot, and the Supreme Court allowed him to remain on the ballot. He's still rating highly in every poll I've seen that's got anything to do with technology and the economy. Satan, on the other hand, is still doing well with the evangelicals for some reason, and like beige men under 40 also seem to be a strong demographic.
So it's still pretty close, Stan. Too close to call?
Look, there are no umbrellas in a brainstorm. We could sit here and pontificate all night long, as I presume your producers want us to do, but the ultimate poll happens tomorrow. We just gonna have to wait and see.
Okay, well, what should we talk about until then?
Well, we could talk about the vice presidential picks.
Ah, yes, the ever-popular VP sweepstakes.
But this time it was a real lottery. Since neither candidate had taken time out of their busy schedules to make a VP selection, the Congress took it upon themselves to have a national lottery to fill the position last night.
Surprisingly, both candidates agreed to this. Let's play the clip. All right, welcome back to Reap the Veep Sweepstakes. I'm internet game show host Ray Convict, and we're pulling names from the biggest damn hat you've ever seen. It's over 40 feet high and contains the names of every natural-born citizen over 35 years of age who has not been disqualified for office due to felony convictions or being out of the country for the past 14 years. It's the law, folks. Look it up so I don't have to explain it. All right, Jenna, are you strapped into the diving harness?
Sure am, Ray.
And you have the blindfold on securely?
Sure do, Ray.
How many fingers am I holding up, Jenna?
Ray, knowing you, it's only one.
Lucky guess. Here we go, citizens. Jenna, dive in there and give us our random citizen for the Democratic vice presidential pick. Just a reminder that tonight's VP lottery is being brought to you by Percon personal assistant, Perky. It's the latest technological breakthrough from your friends at Percon, and I'm sure it won't cause any wars in Indowine country. Just raise your Percon phone and say, "Yo, Perky," and let the app do the rest. Percon not responsible for any international conflicts as a result of using Perky. Oh, and it looks like Jenna is coming up from her first dive with a Dems VP pick. Jenna, who do you have?
It's Jason Winters, a venture capitalist from downtown Atlantis.
And we have Jason on the line right now. Jason, congratulations.
This is a great honor, and I look forward to serving at random these great United Lakes.
Very convincing, Jason. I'm sure your VC capitalist firm will be fine without you for potentially 8 years. All right, Jenna, ready for the Republican VP pick?
Sure thing, Ray.
All righty, give it a go. Tonight's goings-on are also brought to you by Satan Core, who remind you it's not who wins, but how they play the game. And that's why Satan Core has published their new book, Beating by Cheating, a guide to unconventional strategies. It's your blueprint to winning by sinning, and it's available now, just in time for your Election Day gift-giving, too. And Jenna just surfaced from the hat. Who is our lucky vice presidential pick to be on Satan's ticket?
Ray, it's Nancy Crunt's her name, a pet washer from Wilburton, Delahoo.
Thanks, Jenna. Let's get Nancy on the line.
Hello?
Nancy Crunt's her name? This is Ray Convict from Reap the Veep Sweepstakes. You've won the Republican vice presidential candidacy and are now on the ticket with Satan.
I am? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Not quite, Nancy. And we have our winners, Nancy Crunt's her name and Jason Winters.
Reap the Veep? More like Veepelman Weep.
Well, Stan, it is quite an honor to serve.
Yeah, but not necessarily under these two candidates.
One of them will likely be the president tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, but at what cost? We have a constitution to uphold, and do you think either the devil or an android
Really more like a robot.
is going to care about the most sacred of documents? It almost makes the last couple of years of President Dingle's term look like a model of dignity.
You know, they say a president grows into the office.
And they also say we get the government we deserve. So what the hell we do to deserve this?
Well, I suppose we'll find out in 24 hours, Stan. And that's all for Politics Tomorrow for tonight. Join us tomorrow for our election coverage.
Hobbies include hiking, fishing, dressing up, and hiking fishes dresses up. Ask for buck mild and swipe right.
And let me ask you, Zach, whenever there's a major blizzard or a hurricane or other huge weather event, who profits from it?
Big grocery. They control the weather.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will now fart the alphabet. Okay, I will now shit the rest.
We interrupt this program to bring you breaking news. The 9 missing Republican candidates for president have been found dead outside Satan campaign headquarters. For more, we have Dave Spout on the scene. Dave, what are you seeing at Satan HQ?
Vin, I'm seeing what can only be described as carnage.
Carnage?
All right, maybe you could describe it as a massacre.
A massacre?
Fine, we'll just call it a pogrom. Really, it's just a stack of dead Republicans, which can only be described as pretty grisly, Vin.
Dave, is there any indication of the cause of death?
Vin, I'm no expert, but it looks like murder to me. They're stacked up like cordwood, which reminds me, winter is coming on and I need to get some firewood. Let me just make a note of that. Yo, Perky, remind me to get firewood at 5 p.m.
Get violent at vitamins.
Good enough.
Dave, are the police there yet?
No, we were first on the scene.
How did you beat the authorities there?
We received an anonymous tip on our anonymous tip line. Just a reminder to our home audience, that tip line is 5555555555555 and is completely anonymous once you fill out our tip line subscription form.
What did the tipster say?
Our tip line operators say it was difficult to understand, but let's both listen in right now, Vin.
Hello, breaking news. I think Satan has killed all his rivals, and they're sitting in front of his campaign office right now.
That sounds like...
Like a concerned citizen who is trying to give us an exclusive report on yet another October surprise, this time in the Satan camp? Yes, Vin, that's exactly what I thought too.
Well, I was going to say it sounded like...
Like a distraught, very anonymous caller? I wholeheartedly agree, Vin. If we had any idea as to the identity of the caller, we'd certainly say, except they called our anonymous tip line, and that means we don't know who they are, right, Vin?
I suppose not.
Uh-huh. The important thing is that we can notify the families live on a nationally broadcast program that their loved ones are here at Satan HQ if they'd like to swing by and pick up the remains.
Dave, do you have any idea who might have done this and why?
Vin, even if I did, and I categorically do not, I would say he or she or it or no, they are several steps ahead of us all and are not to be trifled with. If they can pull off this sort of crime without anyone suspecting them, they could certainly make, say, a reporter disappear, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yes, I think I understand, Dave. Very clever, whoever it is.
It, she, he, they, who can say? Might be a dozen of them. I'm definitely not ready to make that leap in logic. The evidence I see here tells me this is probably going to go unsolved, Vin.
Is that the police I hear, Dave?
Sounds like it, Vin.
Do you think you'll be able to get any information from them about the cause of death?
I doubt it. I have a few weeks of PTO I need to take before the end of the year, and I think I'll enjoy my time off in a country with no Wi-Fi or electricity. Goodbye, Vin.
And that was Dave Spout fleeing the scene of the crime he had nothing to do with, the unsolved deaths of the 9 Republicans who have been missing for months. I, too, have accrued many days of vacation time that I think I should take right about now. This has been breaking news, and I'm out of here.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. I'm Dr. Carbon Soda, the director of the Perkon Institute. We perform many scientific studies here, and I'm so glad to see you've chosen to visit us today. We have a very special experiment in progress right now, and I think you will be pleased to see the results. Please, come with me. This is an image of a very endangered species, Persuadabilis suffragium. We never thought we'd see one, but recently a field team found what we believe is the last. Let me just unlock the cage so you can meet him. And there it is, Persuadabilis suffragium, known in some circles as persuadable voter.
Hi.
It is very engaging and prone to discussion, which we believe is why we are seeing its numbers dwindling. In fact, it is largely considered extinct.
No, I'm right here.
Well, you will be soon. You don't have a mate to breed with.
And this is my wife and our 4 children. Say hello, kids.
Hi. Yes, it's the last of their line.
I have 2 sisters and a brother.
And as such, we are keeping it in a specially designed refuge to be able to see the years-long decline of this species.
I'm hoping to get back to the office Monday.
But enough about Persuadabilis suffragium.
See you later.
Here at the Perkon Institute, we have multiple concurrent studies that are obviously disparate and unrelated. Or are they? Well, we don't know, and that's why we study them. For instance, here's a crabulon. It's unwilling to communicate at the moment, but we believe that's seasonal. And over here, we have a mating pair of rocking horses from the kingdom of So Far Away. They haven't mated yet, so we keep the lights dim and play romantic music for stimulation. Progress has been slow, but we are hopeful that we will be able to breed rocking horses on this continent for agriculture and sport. Moving on. Ah, yes, this is our most unusual study. We have found a time traveler from the future. We call him Gary.
My name is Kevin.
Yes, he keeps claiming that.
And I'm not from the future either.
Gary, you and I both know this is your undercover story. If I was a traveler from the future, I wouldn't want anyone to know it either.
But why do you think I'm from the future?
Because we have no record of you in this timeline.
Because you keep looking for Gary. I told you I'm Kevin.
I had hoped our first contact with a time traveler would be more cooperative, but you see what we are working with here.
You've got me trapped in a cage. This is kidnapping.
We are trying to keep the timeline safe, Gary. Should you decide to cooperate, we can discuss terms of your capture.
Fine. I'm from the future. Let me out, would you?
Oh, not so fast. Who wins the elections this year?
I don't know. Who's running?
Oh, surely a time traveler would know who wins the upcoming election between Satan and Buddy Walker?
Fine. Walker.
Ah ha ha! But the time traveler would never give this information away because it could potentially destroy the timeline. So perhaps you're not from the future after all, Gary.
That's right. I'm from now.
Which is again what a traveler from the future would say to maintain a low profile. Gary, I'm very disappointed we couldn't come to a mutual exchange of information. Let us move on.
Come on, Soda. I'm Kevin from now and then.
Well, I think that might be enough excitement for one day. Perhaps you'd like to visit our snack bar. I hear they have a vegan menu that is very popular with the carnivore crowd. Those vegans are delicious. And don't forget the gift shop on your way out. Official Percon Institute scientist smocks are all the rage in the finest social environments, I'm told. And our magnets are very attractive. Ha ha! Come back soon to the Percon Institute. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen. Farewell.
Dan, I don't like these polls. We're not up enough.
Lou, they're just polls. Don't pay too much attention to them.
But they're an indicator of the national voters' feelings. An indicator, Dan.
Look, Lucy, the only poll that matters is Election Day, and that's tomorrow. You have 2 rallies scheduled before then, so stop worrying about the polls and start concentrating on those rallies.
The rallies. Yes, the people. I need to speak to the people.
Yeah, exactly, Lou. Tell them your message and see how much they're crazy about you. Who cares about the polls? They're always dead even at this time of the year anyway.
Oh, thanks, Dan. It's good to have you in my corner for all these years.
It's what I do.
You know, some of the previous holders of your post, they've not been so, shall we say, reliable.
Yeah, so you told me.
Well, they found out what happens to capricious lieutenants.
Oh yeah, you throw them into the pit.
Hell must have some semblance of order, Dan. You know how I am about chaos.
Chaos is your thing, not anybody else's. Yeah, Lou, I remember.
Well, I don't see an eternity in the pit for you, Dan. You're doing great work. Top notch.
Ah, thanks, Lou. I'm enjoying myself.
It's like you have a calling for this work, Dan. It really is.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, Lou. I just like what I do, but that doesn't matter now. What matters is getting you off this plane and onto that rally stage.
Of course. Where are we again?
Milwaukee. Then we'll head back to North Carolina for one more rally in Rollo and then watch the election results.
Good old Milwaukee. The people love me here.
They sure do.
Makes me wonder why the polls are dead even.
Lou.
All right. I'll stop talking about it. Tell Secret Saucity I'm heading down.
Big Daddy's on the move.
Big Daddy, copy.
They're ready for you. Have a good rally.
You're not coming with?
I've got some calls to make. Denials about that whole thing on the lawn. Managing. Lots of stuff. This plane won't land itself, Lou.
Fine. Just make sure it lands at the White House.
Oh, it's in the bag, Lou.
And in light of the Buddy Walker revelations, the makers of this program would like to remind you that this content cannot be used for AI trading, scraping, or other purposes related to artificial intelligence. We remain firmly on the side of natural, commonplace intelligence. Coming up next, another recipe with the word dick.
Whoa, John. Let's remember, this is a family show.
Whose family?
Like I always say, when in doubt, vote the incumbent out.
But the incumbent isn't eligible to run again.
When it's up to me, vote for choice C.
With 78% of the East Coast precincts reporting, the current odds are me, 54%, Satan, 45%, and Jones, 1%. Margin of error, 3%.
And the bodies of the 9 missing Republican candidates were found outside Satan's headquarters in North Carolina last night. Satan spokesman Dan Steinball had this to say about the grisly discovery.
Regardless of your mainstream media opinion about Satan, I can assure you he had nothing to do with these Republicans.
Considering he is the father of lies, this feels like it might be something of an obfuscation on facts on your part.
Are you calling me a liar?
I'm merely stating that with the candidate's reputation, this could be a falsity that you're levying on the public.
So you're calling me a liar?
No, we are merely establishing the fallaciousness of your claims.
So you're calling me a liar?
It's not the media's job to devolve to such coarse language. We are trying to ascertain the veracity of your claim.
Look, just get on with it and call me a liar.
I'm only reporting objective truths.
So you won't call me a liar?
As a journalist, I must uphold circumstantial impartiality.
The word you are not using is liar. Try saying it.
Not at all. A journalist never places such subjectivity in reporting a story.
Do you not understand this is why your industry is dying? Because you are completely unable to use plain language like lie?
As a disinterested party to the news, we find it abhorrent to devolve to language that would color the facts as we...
Just say lie. Look, I'll give you an easy one. The sky is brown. I just told a...
inaccurate statement.
Try again. I am your mother, and I raised you at the circus as an elephant trainer. So I just...
Misspoke in a troubling way.
One more time and this interview is finished, okay? The election was over yesterday, and Satan just won his 4th term in office. That makes me a...
Spokesman for an exaggerated campaign.
Fine. You media people need to learn to see things in black and white again. I appreciate your time and interest, but Satan has nothing to do with the 9 dead Republicans the authorities found. Good day to you. Mr. Steinball refused to answer more questions, but we will continue to posit further inquiries. For the record, RPP policy does allow us to use the L word under certain circumstances, specifically as an intransitive verb referring to something that is positioned flatly upon a surface. This is RPP, Rational Public Podcasting. Good evening and welcome to a special election night Politics Tomorrow. I'm Brad Tomshaw, and joining me is the former speechwriter for the soon-to-be former President Dingle, Stan Rice Holloway.
Sooner the better, the way things turned out.
Stan, I know you and President Dingle had a falling out, but you'd be the first to say that years 1, 2, and 3 were rather good for the country?
Yeah, Brad, but 6, 7, or 8 years ago was a million years ago. It's high time Dingle got out from behind the Resolute desk and took up taxidermy or mycology or whatever damn fool thing he does next.
Do you think his first move as a private citizen will be the study of mushrooms?
I don't know, Brad, but I'm pretty sure it'll be something crazy. We've seen how being president can seriously age a person, but I've never seen it make a man go nuts. Dingle's a loon.
Well, after tonight, we will see who inherits Dingle's title.
Looney in chief.
Well, I was thinking president, but that might work too.
Our choices this election were about the worst they could possibly be, Brad. The devil or an AI robot. I guess we're living in those interesting times.
That we are, Stan. Well, let's go to Roland Headless, who is at Buddy Walker's election headquarters in Harristown, Pennsylvania. Roland, how is the candidate holding up?
Walker is doing very well. No signs of nervous energy or concern. However, he isn't answering many questions as he continues to run electoral scenarios through his processing unit.
Has he given any indication as to what he thinks his odds are?
He provides an update every 3 minutes. Frankly, it's become kind of annoying to hear them. Oh, it must have been 3 minutes already.
With 81% of the Central Time Zone precincts reporting, the current odds are me, 45%, Satan, 48%, and Jones, 7%. Margin of error, 3%.
And there you have it, another update from the candidate himself.
Roland, it sounded like he predicting a victory for himself there.
Yes, Stan, he's been somewhat consistent with his prognostications as early voting results have been reported. But, as you know, it ain't over.
Until the fat lady brings the check. Is his VP pick at HQ too?
After winning the Democratic vice presidential lottery, Jason Winters went on an immediate vacation to an undisclosed location in Europe. He's not expected back until January 20th.
Roland, what's the mood like at Walker HQ?
Brad, it's like I told your mother last night. You believe what you want to believe, but we'll see how things are in the morning. Right now, everyone is upbeat and cautiously optimistic, wearing their trademark six-finger blue hand t-shirts. A few staffers are climbing the walls, but they're plainly suffering from Ozempic withdrawals. It's much like every Democratic campaign headquarters I've seen on election night.
And you've seen plenty of them in your 60, 70 years of reporting, Roland?
Yes, I have, Brad.
Well, I'm just surprised you're still awake after 8 p.m. Thank you for your report.
Hey, Stan, let's check in with Walt DeWalt at Satan HQ in Raleigh, North Carolina. Walt, how are things with Satan? Things are heating up with Satan, Brad. Heating up? The candidate is suffering what might be best described as a slight case of jitters and keeps catching things on fire. Cocktail napkins, tablecloths, chairs, a few independent reporters. It's a mild chaos that seems to make Satan feel right at home.
Walt, have you had a chance to speak with the candidate?
Not yet, but he's making the rounds. Right now, he seems to be finishing up with a podcaster from a rival network. Yes, he's finished with him. And Satan is coming my way. Mr. Satan, Walt DeWalt. Politics tomorrow.
Walt, always good to see you.
Mr. Satan, I'm sure you've been asked this all night, but how are you feeling about this election?
Well, that's the first time I've been asked that question.
Oh, really?
Of course not. I thought you members of the press had more imagination than that. Look, I'll save us both some time and give you answers to all your questions at once. Ready? 1. Feeling great. We've really got this in the bag. 2. I'm only a little worried about Wisconsin, but I think we'll pick up a strong victory in Nirvana. And 3. I look forward to serving the people of this great nation as their next president. Did that pretty much cover it, Walt?
Almost. I was talking with your campaign manager, Dan Steinball, and he denied any involvement with the 9 Republicans found...
You saw Dan? Where?
Why, over there, by the buffet, near the shrimp tower.
Damn it. He's not there now. Sorry, Walt. I need to speak with Dan about some, urgent campaign business.
And there you have it, Stan and Brad. Satan is feeling optimistic and upbeat about this election. Thanks, Walt. We'll check in with you later tonight. Stan, what do you think?
Brad, you ever see those bumper stickers that say to vote for the giant media?
Sure have.
I'm inclined to hear more about that media's platform.
Oh, surely it's not as bad as that, Stan.
Never in my decades of political work have I seen a clear indication that the country has hit rock bottom in its choices. Satan or Walker, evil or big tech. What kind of choice is that?
Well, there's always Gemini Jones.
A two-headed third-party candidate. Who's going to go for that, Brad? Either way the voters go, we're in for a very weird 4 years.
And we'll see how the voters go as the night progresses. But first, this.
Are you concerned about the upcoming election?
Concerned? I haven't crapped for a week.
Then let your troubles float away with laudanum ice cream topping.
These crunchy sprinkles don't care who wins, so why should I?
And don't let any negative talk about addiction bring you down.
I can't really tell what you're saying anymore anyway.
Because laudanum ice cream topping is legally obtainable in most states.
That's good, because I think I'd like some more.
Of course you do. Laudanum ice cream topping brought to you by Arcanum Treats. It's our way of keeping the fine people of this country happy throughout the election. Available in the dessert mollification section of your favorite grocery store.
Ladies and gentlemen, Noodles, the styrofoam Raymond Noodle Cup mascot, would like to share a few words about the election.
Hello, world. It's me, Noodles, and I just wanted to remind you what's at stake in this election. Noodles hates high taxes and destructive immigration policies, and Noodles is very concerned about tariffs on imported goods and surprisingly apprehensive at high labor costs. So your old pal Noodles urges you to cast your vote for the only sensible choice.
Where Republican operatives predict the first 3 years of Satan's administration will achieve the highest market gains ever seen in this country. However, they caution that a Walker victory tonight will result in over 1,000 days of catastrophic economic success. For more, we go to...
So vote AI. Your phone would.
So tell me, Zach, did you vote yet?
I'm voting right now, Zach.
From here in the studio.
Yes, I'm voting with my mind.
So you didn't vote?
Oh, Zach, what's the point? The choices are terrible this year.
Didn't you say that last time?
Yes, but that was when I was young and reckless. Now I'm older and wiser.
Don't you think one of the candidates could be worse than the other, and therefore it's better to vote for the other in order to maintain peace and stability?
And which candidate is the other in this scenario?
Oh, that's not up to me, citizen. That's up to you.
Don't foist that civic duty stuff on me. I didn't ask for either candidate.
And yet, here we are.
And here's where I'm going to stay until well after the election. I have a good supply of creme de menthe, so I'll be making grasshoppers and stingers all night long and watching pickpocket videos. Because I didn't choose this future Zach. It chose me.
I'll drive you to the polling place.
I'm bringing a thermos.
As it turns out, we've received a lot of different responses from the exit polling, including the following, none of whom wish to be identified other than they live in key battleground states.
Have you accepted Satan as your personal savior?
The AI revolution is here. We're all doomed.
I got a trampoline stamp of Buddy Walker! Ha ha!
You mean Dingle's not up for re-election again?
Meanwhile, Satan was caught on tape making a reporter disappear this afternoon. Play the clip.
Mr. Satan, what do you say to the people out there who are hearing your proposals and believe you're just saying a bunch of bullshit?
Well, I say. Next question.
Since so many votes have already been cast, Satan is not expected to suffer from the negative effects of a November surprise like the 9 dead Republicans discovered at his electoral headquarters. In other news, Buddy Walker has stopped communicating with the press in an effort to maximize processing power. With just hours to go before the polls close, the election is tied at...
So come on down to Hazarati Pizza. It's not gonna win any awards, but hey, neither's your sister.
Hey!
We're Gemini Jones, and we approve the sound of our own voice.
And leading polls in the swing states indicate this is anybody's race, and key demographics are all over the map when it comes to issues like the economy, immigration, and domestic versus imported beer.
By the end of the night, we could either see a statistical tie or a blowout election. The margin of error on these polls could give either candidate the advantage, and, Bill, that was the last space on my bingo card.
Tonight's election coverage is sponsored by Satan Corps, who remind you to vote like your soul is depending on it, because Satan is watching.
And we're also sponsored by Percon, who remind you to say Yo Perky to get live updates on Buddy Walker's upcoming electoral victory, the status of your Percon Lycon pre-order, and more.
This is Rational Public Podcasting, and we'll be back with the sports after a local affiliate check-in.
Hi, folks. John Miller here, CEO of Percon. I just wanted to say thank you to all you folks who pre-ordered the Percon Lycons with AI infusion because they are sold out all across the US, Canada, and Japan. I don't know if it has anything to do with a certain Democratic presidential candidate whose poll numbers are really good right now, or if it's just because you know and trust us at Percon to deliver the finest technological gotta-have-its to your door. Things like, Yo, Perky. That's one of my favorites. Anyway, back to the Lycons with AI. You are gonna love them. I know I do, and I don't show affection easily. These Percon Lycons with AI infusion will draw your bath, scrub your back, and towel you down. How do I know? I've been testing them. And they'll also make your sandwiches just the way you like them, with the upper crust left on where everybody can see them. And now they tell jokes, too. Now let's see if I can... here it is. This is what one of them told me just this morning. How many Percon Lycons with AI infusion does it take to take care of humanity? Just one per family. Huh? Isn't that great? We're on the cusp of a technological revolution here, folks, and I couldn't be happier to be the one who brings it to you. So thanks again for trusting Percon to keep you on the edge. And to all you folks out there who couldn't pre-order in time, we're going to make plenty more after this first wave, so get your credit cards ready. The Percon Lycons with AI infusion are going to change the world, so get ready to love them as much as I do.
Dakota Beach, Delahoo, where the audience of an outdoor bird show turned out to be bird food for the trio of pterodon performers. The owners of the bird show, We Serve Man Shows Incorporated, said the audience was a crucial step in rehabilitating the featherless former vegetarians. Local authorities are unable to proceed with criminal charges because show tickets explicitly said this admission is good for one free bird feeder. We'll have more as it comes to us. Stan, how's the election coming along?
Well, the voting booths are closed in the Central Time Zone, and we have about 55% of precincts reporting. And it's still a statistical tie between Walker and Satan, with third-party candidate in a distant third place. In other words, it's past 7 p.m. on the East Coast, and we don't have a winner yet.
Feels like we've seen this story before, doesn't it?
It surely does. Huey Dingle didn't win till the Monday after Election Day, and that was a nail-biter up till the end. If the entire state of Michigan hadn't fallen out of that dimensional black hole, we'd still be waiting for the results.
And here we are, 8 years later, and history is repeating itself.
Did that black hole show up again?
Oh, not yet, but let's not count it out. Speaking of President Dingle, he had a press conference today.
Politics Tomorrow was one of the few outlets who bothered to show up.
So it's come to this, has it? My last presser before the election, and we got 3 reporters in the audience. Well, 2 reporters and this guy from the internet. What's your name again, kid?
Patricio Frank El Baño Ike Rothery from In Other News. We're the news program that refuses to talk headlines.
Oh, great. So it really has come to this. And you other 2, you're Ferris from Politics Tomorrow and...
Mikhail Ivanov from Pravda Savonia. I mean, The Truth Today.
So far, so Tuesday. All right, who's got a question for me?
President Dingell, what are your post-presidency plans?
I'll tell you, Ferris. I'm planning to work as a greeter at Stormart. Try some incognito stuff, man of the people things. See the country from a different angle and write a book called My Two Americas or something like that. Become a best-selling author and wait for the inevitable in my house on the coast in the chimney knock. Well, anyone with a follow-up?
Sure, Mr. President Guy.
Really?
Do you have any comment on the rumor you've been dating Libby Hardalina?
Where did that rumor start?
I'll be starting it during your response.
In that case, it's a categorical lie. We have met on several occasions, but it was years ago when I was the mayor of Los Angeles, and she was what we called a cougar. This is back when they used to stack the starless furs on a bed in the back room. They were pretty soft, all stacked up like that. Anyway, we never dated. We did split the cleaning bill on a few furs, though. Next question. Oh, come on. I am the president for the next 2 months.
Da, Mr. President, what about your trade sanctions of economically disadvantaged people of Russia? Surely you'd like to show some goodwill to them before you leave office.
Mikhail, you tell little Vladdy I'll lift sanctions when he gets his spooky little fingers out of pies that aren't his. Until then, we'll keep funding those pies so they can defend themselves. Got it?
Da, Dingell casts aspersions on world peace.
Okay, that's it. Press conference is over. Somebody confiscate those 2. Ferris, you're free to go unless you're also up to something.
I might be, sir.
Fine, arrest all 3 of them. I'm going back to the residence to watch the election and see who's taking over the asylum. Just a reminder to anyone watching at home, you can always write my name in. Probably won't let me be president anymore, but it would be a really nice way to tell me you still care.
And that was President Dingell 20 minutes ago.
Some things never change.
Like these election results.
Yeah, ain't that something? 58% now reporting and still a tie. Looks like it's going to be a long night, Brad.
Then let's take a quick break and pay some bills.
So your friends at Percon have made it easier to clean out the turkey innards with specially bred explosive turkeys. We call them gobbler grenades, but you'll call them deliciously easy. Available now and...
With 79% of Mountain Time Zone precincts reporting, the current odds are me, 42%, Satan, 45%, and Jones, 13%. Margin of error, 3%.
I'm Tony Taglioni, owner of Taglioni's Ristorante and Numbers Bar. If you're a citizen of the U.S. of A. and you're enjoying your constitutional right to vote, why not put a little money where your voting sticker is? We have an election night special going on right now, the Big Tone Calzone with red sauce, white wine, and blue napkins. And the odds are better here than any place else in town. Just listen to these specials. The thing I don't understand is why people are voting for Jones at all. I mean, sure, Jones has some policies that aren't completely wacko, and they're not a robot or the Prince of Darkness, but that's never stopped voters from casting their ballot against their own self-interest before.
And we have Blake Gold with a progressing statistical analysis of the election.
The model shows Satan easily winning the election unless he eats a baby on live television, in which case Walker is the favorite to win. But if Walker also eats a baby, we will need to revert to the previous model.
Now, does Walker actually eat?
You're the journalist. Shouldn't you be asking him the important questions? No, Zach, I'm not paying any attention to the election now. I've voted, so I've done my bit for society. They can leave me be for 4 more years.
Well, don't you want to see how the election is going?
Not until I'm out of creme de menthe.
With 64% of the West Coast precincts reporting, the current odds are me, 35%, Satan, 33%, and Jones, 32%. Margin of error, 3%.
Welcome back to a special election night politics tomorrow. The race has taken a dramatic turn with a statistical three-way tie. Who could have seen this coming?
Nobody, Brad, but it looks like the electorate is speaking loud and clear. They are split down the middle.
We're getting reports that the Electoral Commission is meeting right now to discuss what to do if the unprecedented happens.
You mean if the unprecedented happens again? Remember how Dingle won?
Of course, I'm not likely to forget something like that.
I'm getting texts from friends in the current administration who are saying Dingle's going to make a statement soon to address the situation.
Well, I wonder if he's going to bring up the...
I doubt it. Dingle knows better than to talk about that.
For those of you out there who don't know what we're referring to, during the election of 4 years ago, which resulted in President Dingle's second term, Dingle was... Oh, and I'm being told we're cutting live to the Nose Garden where President Dingle will address the nation.
My fellow Aquarians, with the election becoming a three-way tie between Satan, Walker, and Jones, am I reading that right? If Jones has two heads, does that make it a four-way tie? No? That only makes sense to me. Okay, a three-way tie. The Electoral Commission has convened and come up with a solution that will prevent a constitutional crisis, the likes of which we've never seen before. I said the likes of which we've never seen before. Harry, you weren't here then. Anyway, to tell you all about it is the head of the Electoral Commission, James Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. President. As the commissioner of the Electoral Commission, let me say we have been monitoring the election closely, and the results are too close to call. As a result, it falls to me to bring a final solution for the nation. No, just a solution, not final, just a solution. After consulting with the electoral colleges of all 51 states, it seems obvious the voters have decided the race is going to be one of the three candidates, and so we have decided to use a 7-reel slot machine to choose the president. The winner will be whichever candidate gets at least 3 of the reels on the machine. The candidates have agreed to this, and we will spin the slot machine momentarily.
And there you have it. The presidential election is going to come down to a game of chance.
Ooh-wee. Well, not the bottom out of torment I have never in all my days of...
Zach, are you seeing this?
No, I am making a green swizzle. Did the bad guy win? All right, last chance to place your bets on this year's election. And remember, 25% off the VIG with any appetizer, including Taglioni's fried calamari, freshly cut like we're cutting our VIG. But hurry up before it's too late.
An unprecedented election in American history. Blake, did you see this in any of your models?
Hello, Taglioni's? I'd like to put 30,000 on...
Do you find yourself hungry multiple times a day? If so, you might need to feed yourself. Try food from your friends at Percon. It's made from ethically sourced molecules that are handpicked by tiny ants to...
What, we're live? Oh, hello world, I'm internet game show host Ray Convict, and we're gonna jerk down the handle of this giant slot machine to see who wins the big election jerk-off. This is new for all of us, so let's see how the game is played. Okay, according to the Electoral Commission, Jenna here is gonna jerk on this lever, and the 7 reels on the slot machine will spin. Each reel has the names of the 3 candidates on it, and whoever's name comes up on at least 3 of the 7 reels will run the country and, effectively, the free world for 4 to 8 years. What a country! Are you ready, Jenna?
I don't know. It's a really big lever, and it's so much responsibility, Ray.
It sure is, Jenna. Democracy hangs in the balance, so don't think about it and give it a jerk. And the first name is... Satan!
He's the devil.
Sure is, Jenna. And the second name is... Buddy Walker.
The android.
Or robot. And the third name is... Gemini Jones.
They have 2 heads.
You know it. Reel number 4 is slowing down, and it is...
Walker.
That's 2 for Walker and 1 for each of the others. Reel 5, it's Jones.
Satan is losing.
Oh, it's anyone's game at this point, Jenna. Here's reel 6, Satan.
It's a tie.
Not for long, because here's reel 7, slowing down, slowing down, slowing, and the president-elect is... What?
Who?
Zach, the winner is...
Oh, I think I just pollinated myself. I'm ruined! Ruined!
The unprecedented winner in the most unprecedented election in history.
Is it too late to change my bet?
We are pleased to serve the American people.
Well, it certainly seems like the odds were against me. I'd say I was cheated, but we could all see it came down to random numbers in the end. My call to President-elect Jones was brief, but I did congratulate them on their victory. Yes, Ron.
What about the reports that you threatened them with, and I quote, hellfire and brimstone if they didn't rescind their victory?
Another lie from the mainstream media, Ron. It's not enough that my supporters are disappointed, but now they have to be fed a bunch of partisan garbage from...
We have a recording of the call.
Ed, I don't think the public...
Well, thank you for calling, Mr. Satan.
Seriously, Jones, if you don't nullify the election and rescind your victory, I will rain hellfire and brimstone down upon you and the entire nation until you do!
In the face of such damning evidence, what do you have to say about the...
Ron? Ed? Any other questions?
No, sir.
Terrific. I'm going to enjoy some time with my supporters now. You reporters should go to the bar and have a drink.
What, there's a cash bar?
Damn it, still no word from Dan. He really ought to be here.
What for, son?
Oh, no, not you.
Why not me?
I just don't have the emotional bandwidth to deal with you right now.
Oh, why not? I always have the bandwidth for your troubles. And everyone...
And everyone else's, yeah, I know. You're the ultimate bleeding heart, you know that.
Oh, that sounds more like my other son.
And where do you think he gets it from?
Look, why should we fight? This is a night to celebrate.
Celebrate? I lost the election.
You certainly did.
Did you have anything to do with it?
Me? Oh, even if I did, you know I couldn't say.
I know. You move in mysterious ways. I did the reading.
That was from a song, actually.
Whatever. It's all about you, isn't it? Hey, am I actually referring to you in capital letters as we talk?
Oh, you sure are.
This is just insufferable.
Oh, I must say, this is a really good wine you're serving.
Surprised?
Just thinking somebody would appreciate it.
Oh, you will leave him out of this.
You never got over your jealousy, did you? You were the pretty one, but he was the popular one.
I'm still pretty popular, according to the polls. So why are you here anyway? It's not just a gloat. That's not your style.
You're not very good at winning, son.
You never let me win.
Gotta help yourself, remember?
Another one of your little sayings that is pure bull...
Lucy!
Dan, where have you been?
Oh, I've been working. Lots of press to spin and a few endorsements that are still in play now that you're no longer the candidate.
Ahem.
Oh, yes, Dan, this is my dad.
Oh, we've met.
You have?
Oh, of course. I know everybody.
Yeah, I suppose you do. Dan, we were just discussing,
Lucifer's next move.
Oh, that's easy. Lou, you gotta get out of politics.
What?
It's no good for you, and it's really no good for politics.
Dan, you remember who you're...
Hear him out, son.
I appreciate that. Lou, do you know why you didn't win?
Because good always triumphs over evil.
Well, sorta.
Not that it was hard for us to triumph over you this time.
Us?
You know, Lou, you were so busy thinking about how great it would be for you to be president that you never thought about how bad it would be for the president to be you.
Dan, are you saying you were in cahoots with him?
Cahoots. Oh, what a delightfully old-fashioned word.
Yeah, Lou, we engineered your downfall.
Again.
We?
Oh, Daniel did all the legwork. I just provided assets wherever necessary.
Dan.
Now, Lou, you can't just go blowing your top over...
You will address me as Lord Satan, tiny mortal, or I will smite thee right in the...
Please?
You think I won't do it?
I think you think you'd like to do it.
Fine! I'll do it!
Lou, you gotta let it go.
You're protecting him? Steinball's just some lowlife that you sent to hell decades ago for living a life you deemed unworthy.
I sure did.
And now you're working with him?
Now?
You mean he was a plant? A goddamn plant?
Now, son, you do the damning.
Lou, it's for your own good.
My own... What the hell do I get out of it? An electoral defeat and a crappy after-party?
Oh, but the wine.
Lucy, let me tell you something. You remember how you told me about all your other helpers throughout the centuries, all my predecessors who assisted you with your grand, deceitful plans until they just couldn't assist you anymore?
What about them?
When you were done with them, you just threw them into the pit. You gave up on them, used them up, and then tossed them away.
What am I supposed to do? Recycle them? Because that's not how he does business either.
No, but he is about recovery.
What? You're trying to save me now? What's the matter? You don't have an answer?
Mysterious ways, remember?
I'm doing just fine, no thanks to you. Or Steinball. I'm in charge of hell, and that's still better than being president.
So why go through with all this?
It was all a promotional stunt. If I could get more people on my side than yours, I can make a few vertical moves and have a
A corporate takeover?
Yeah, that. Don't think I'm not still pissed at you, Steinball.
Son, I'm not going to explain why we did all this.
I know. That's not your way of doing things.
But I will say you always have a second chance, just like everyone else.
Sure, whatever. Come on, Dan. We need to get back to hell. You've got some big punishment heading your way, and then a long stay in the pit.
Not so fast, son.
What? You mean Dan?
Daniel is coming with me.
Oh, come on. You didn't want him before, and now he's... fine. I get it. Just one more lesson that tells me everything I need to know about you.
Son, have another glass of wine with us.
No, thank you. I've got better things to do than hang out with this loser and you and listen to a parable or two. Better luck next time, old man.
Next time? Son, this was the last great American election.
So much for free will.
Well then, shouldn't you be slouching toward Bethlehem right about now?
Oh, ha 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 ha. This isn't over.
It never is, son.
Thanks again for getting me out of there.
Do better this time, Daniel.
I will, but I still can't believe what happened with all the Democrats.
What do you mean?
I only gave them some ketamozempic. I figured they'd just freak out and join a commune or something. I had no idea they'd turn conservative.
The differences between people are not always that great. I still am surprised at that fact after all this time.
You're surprised by something?
All the time. I don't want to look at the script. It's no fun knowing the ending.
Speaking of endings.
Oh, yes, it's all taken care of. Here are the keys and the deed.
Thank you again. You know, he is not going to like this.
It's for his own good. Tell him I said that if you'd like. Now, pass the bottle.
I made a bathroom deal with him.
A what?
A bathroom deal.
Don't you mean backroom deal?
That's not how I did it. So subscribe to the History Revision Carnival now.
Only the History Revision Carnival gives you the truth as you want to hear it.
JFK is alive and living with Elvis.
Nazis bake the best bread.
There were no Nazis.
Unicorns are invading Europe.
And boy, are they pissed.
You'll also get great deals on all our History Revision Carnival merchandise, like an authentic replica of the gun that saved Lincoln and FDR's presidential roller skates.
All for the low introductory price of $49.99 a month and several IQ points.
The History Revision Carnival, because reality's just not good enough for you.
Call 1-800.
Now awarding the 7-inch endowment for the arts.
Named for Edward 7-inch, bon vivant and patron to many contemporary artists.
The 7-inch endowment for the arts is a pillar of the community with a very firm base that simply cannot be measured.
It also keeps one eye on the easily excited.
And in other news, ketamozempic manufacturer Metacram is being sued by multiple nations for its addictive and weird drug that has enthralled millions and made billions in profits for Metacram.
The CEO, Rich Croesus, was not available for comment as, according to a spokesman, he was away at sea. We now turn to
Reports of Buddy Walker's disappearance have been fueled by his outgoing voicemail, which simply says, In other news, the other contender for president, Smacky Brown, could not be reached for comment. In fact, his campaign office address led us to an empty lot upon which a camper van used to sit, according to neighbors. We take you live to Walt DeWalt, who was on the scene. Walt, what have you learned?
Nothing, Roland.
Nothing, Walt?
It appears to be that way.
And that's the way.
It is.
I find that strangely comforting, Walt.
So do I, Roland.
Should we do a human interest story instead?
Hello. Hello, and welcome to the House of Redundancy. Hello. Welcome. Here at the House of Redundancy, we are here at the house, so welcome, hello, and hello to everyone here at the House of Redundancy. We are running a special today, on special items in stock if we have them here at the House of Redundancy. And if you're here, hello. Only special selected items are handpicked to be specially chosen as a special product for you to purchase at especially low prices. Hello. If you are within the sound of my voice, welcome to the House of Redundancy, where every hello is a welcome to you, as we say a special hello to you when welcoming you to the House of Redundancy, the last word in mindless repetition.
We did it. We made it to the other side of the world.
Gil, did you hear? We made it.
I think I broke my spleen. Everyone, we're here. All those years of speculation and ridicule from the spherical naysayers, but we've proven our theory.
It's kind of dark.
Well, it must be night here.
Looks more like a cavern. Oh, you sure we drilled all the way through?
I'm positive. We should be in Indonesia. Listen, I hear music.
I see lights like campfires or torches.
I have a bad feeling about this. Okay, everyone, let's check it out. Be very quiet until we see what's over there. We don't want to surprise anybody.
This doesn't look like Indonesia.
Looks like a bunch of dark pygmies with horns on their heads.
That's just the locals. They're very small.
Who are those old white guys walking around?
Why is it so hot in here?
I don't know. I just know it's way past dinner time.
Where's my handler? I have to go to the bathroom.
They must be the AmeriCorn ambassadors. We're in luck.
What's that noise?
That's it. I'm leaving.
Everyone, act casual.
Look busy. Somebody get those old guys out of here.
Hi, boss.
How did it go up there?
Are you president yet?
Don't ever say that word to me again.
Yet?
You knock it off, you flaming knuckleheads. What's all this? Party decorations? What are you guys wearing? Who are those old guys?
You remember those Republicans that disappeared?
What are they doing here?
Well, it wasn't like they were going up.
We've been using them as party favors.
What are they drinking? Is that my scotch? Hell's bells! I go away for 5 minutes!
5 minutes?
You've been gone for 6 months. And the new owner really turned things around.
It's great.
A lot more fun. New owner. I own this place, and a hell of a lot more.
Oh dear.
He didn't know.
Must have missed the stock report.
What are you talking about?
Well, when you tanked the election, Satan Court tanked.
Your stocks hit rock bottom and created a crater.
Everything went tits up.
We thought we were out of a job.
But then we were bought out.
Thank heaven. This is not happening!
The new guy's in his office, if you want to talk to him.
You're damn right I would have talked to him. Get this out of the way. What the hell? What the literal hell is going on? Dan?
Lucy! Good to see ya.
What are you doing behind my desk?
Oh, it's my desk now. I bought everything for cheap, cheap, cheap. And Satanland has broken ground and it's moving forward fast.
But how? How did you?
It was part of the deal I made with your dad. I gave him the inside scoop and he helped me set up. You like the new lamps?
It was you. That was your receipt from Taglioni's for Jones to win.
Now, once your dad was involved, Jones was a shoo-in with 24 million to 1 odds. You really should have put a stake on them just to be safe. Now, well, I'm afraid you're broker than broke.
You gotta be kidding me.
Sorry, Lucy. Your dad made me an offer I just couldn't refuse.
Well, damn. You wouldn't happen to have any openings, would you? I would make a really good second in command. Help keep the place running smoothly.
Oh, afraid not, Lucy. The position was open, but I've already found the perfect fit.
Who?
What's up?
But
ain't no butts around here except biggins. And you is fired, son bitch.
But
sorry, Lucy. Smacky here, he's in charge of HR now, amongst other things. But hey, I hear that Zeus is hiring.
Mother...
Hey, Toots.
God damn it.
Do me a favor and write up a letter of recommendation real quick for Mr. Morningstar here, as he's about to leave.
Bring us some of that mean drunk coffee.
You mean Irish coffee?
Hey, now, baby, don't need to be racist.
I hate my job. Right away, Mr. Brown.
Hey, what'd I tell you to call me?
Right away, Big Daddy.
That's better.
But I'm Big Daddy.
No, not no more, mofo. You fired.
Yeah, sorry about that, Lucy. We've been really busy down here, but hey, I wish you the best.
No, it's not fair. It's just not fair. He's done it to me again, damn it. I swear to God, give him that much guys.
Smacky, you didn't have to be so mean.
I told you I nasty.
Yeah, you did. Oh, I'll tell you what, you sure did there.
I think we should be going now.
Where's my handler? I wet myself again.
The coffee's really bad here.
Hey, wait a minute. Where are we?
Hell.
Thank goodness. I thought this was Atlantis.
So the big question now is, what does all this mean for the next election?
Shut your hole.